Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? I hope everybody's said fine and dandy. Not doing too awful bad, guys, here in Oak, Kentucky. It is Wednesday afternoon. Actually, 7:30 in the evening. I took a nap when I got off work. So, I feel a little bit more bushy-tailed, broad-eyed. So, I hope everybody's been having a good week so far. Tonight, guys, I thought we'd work on an old radio that I had worked on before, and I put it on the shelf. It's actually just a 4-tube radio. It's this is what the case looks like. It's an old SEARS Silverstone, and these radios here, I have a few of them, and half of them work and half of them do not. Here's a little green General Electric one, and this one, when I put it up, it worked, and then I had paint in my boat, and I actually got a blue fingerprint on it, which maybe some paint thinner might bring it off. But I got looking at it, even got there and there. This one, I can't remember what I exactly did with the tubes when I was working on it. I stuck them somewhere, but this one has the same tubes. It has the 1U4 and everything. Oh, also, I want to correct something that I said the other night. When I started learning and everything about these electronics and working on radio stuff about 2 years ago, I hit the books. I studied everything I could do, and I watched as many videos as I could. And in that process, what I had learned, you know, I was a fresh learner, and for some reason on my detection tubes, I called them a resurrection tube, and I cannot for the life of me get that thing changed in my brain when I'm doing videos or whatever. For some reason, to this day, I still call it a resurrection tube. But if you ever hear me say it again, which you probably will, I'm talking about a detection tube. But this radio here, guys, well, let's back up for a minute. I had a mess on my hands earlier. I was trying to make organize and make room, because I got so many little parts here and there, especially where I bought that whole box of parts, and it has a few capacitor stuff in it. I just had nowhere to put anything. I ran out of room. So I thought, well, I would take these canning jars, these old mason jars here, and I would mount them underneath my shelf. I don't know if you can see this or not. I have two over here and two over here. And that way I could just, if I need something, just go over here, unscrew it, and get my part out, or whatever I need. Well, everything was going good until I forgot, when I put this shelf up here, it's up. I've got it up there really good and strong, as long as the gravity's pulling it down. But if you go to push up, yeah, that's the problem, because I've got two anchor bolts, and then I've got two pieces of metal back there where it sets down on those big old screws. So, you know, gravity's pulling it down. It's a good tight bond. It ain't going nowhere. But the minute you start pushing up, it's yeah. The whole thing fell off there when I was trying to put one of these up. Everything on the top fell. I had a little thing of, a couple little things of just little bits and bobs, little screws and nuts and washers. I had, this thing was plumb full, just miscellaneous. I mean, I had a mess. And the only way I could get it cleaned up was I had to pull this out as far as I could get it, the bench. Had to take the shop vac and pull it all up that way. And I finally got it done. But yeah, that was a mess, guys. But I got these, and I always liked that idea. I seen this done in an old shed, and forgive me, guys, I'm getting the sniffles. Boy I worked with came to work sick the other day. His wife got sick first, and then he got sick. Now it kind of feels like I'm getting sick, because I never take a nap when I get home from work. So And now my nose starting to run. But I seen these jars up like this in an old shed a long time ago in my earlier years, and I just loved the idea. I was like, it's so easy, but it's so, you know, who would have thought, you know, it's a very crafty thing to think of. And it's handy to put your capacitors and your resistors, put capacitors in one and resistors and miscellaneous screws and bolts. And well, if you work on old radios or work on anything, you know eventually you're going to have a bunch of little parts. So I was getting them all up here on the back of my bench. So I thought I put those up there, and it worked out. But I had to make a mess to do it, but I got it done. But enough of that. Okay, guys. Now this is, like I was saying, this is a Silverstone. I don't know what I did with the tubes. They're in somewhere. I've got a couple boxes of tubes, and I probably put them in it. And the General Electric, now this one worked when I last played it, so it should still work. But I got looking inside this one, and for some reason, which I think I remember why. I think I used one of the tubes for a radio in the house, but it's missing the 1U4, which I actually have a new one of those in stock. But this also has the 1U5, which we had problems with the earlier radio we worked on. And I noticed this one's went gassy. So we need to check that. But I believe it was gassy when I played it last. And it just hadn't completely went kaput. So, and actually it says it's the 3V4. Or the 3... I was reading it backwards. Okay, this is the 3... Let me take this thing out. We got to test it anyway. If I can get it out of here. They have a way of putting these things in some of these radios where you can't really get the tubes out. Yes, the 3V4. So, I don't know this. Wait, I guess the radio diagram's backwards. I guess the 1U5's over here, which that is the detection tube. I said it right that time. Let's see. And then I guess the back would be the 1U4. V4. Here's IR5, which would probably be in the back. It's got, see what I'm saying, guys? They got the daggone. Here's the diagram for the tubes. Here's the 1U5. That's what I thought was right here. But that was the 3V4 that I just dropped. Yeah, it's going rolling down the hill. So I don't know. I don't know if the 3V4 was up front or in the back. I say the IR5 is the detection tube, and the, I don't know, the 1U4 go here. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, that's not really our biggest problem. When I bought the Silverstone, it had problems and it would not play. It's an electric or battery set, and it takes 90 volt DC and I think 7.5 volts for the filaments. Or you can run 115 AC volts. But it didn't work on either. And so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and change the caps. Well, the way they had this one set up, they had the caps was up here on top, and here's the cap, which I was going to try to stuff, because this one is a little finicky to work on. But that went there, the canister for the capacitors. I had changed and put capacitors in. And I guess I took them out and used them on another radio because this did not work. So we'll have to find some capacitors, go through it. I think I kind of got looking at it before I took my nap. And my ground that I have it grounded to isn't the most stablest ground. So I think if I work on that a little bit, because everything's back right, which I hope it is, because I remember when I put all this back together, there was 1,000 wires to these caps on this radio. And here's my diagram that I drew out the day that I did it. And you can see all the madness going on. It had probably about 20 or 30 wires running to the ultraletics. So, but I thought, we just mess around with it and, try to get it working. That's why I keep these old radios laying around. If I don't get them fixed one day, I put them up, leave myself notes, and we go back to them. And sometimes I get lucky and figure out what's going on. So, let's get started, guys. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to check that tube that just went rolling off on us. See if it's still going to be usable. It's, like I said, it's got a real white place on it. Let me go get it and I'll show you. Oh. See how it's got that white? Where's the camera? See how it's got the white there on top? But if I remember right, this still worked. Even though it was gassy, it still worked about a year ago. But it may have set over time and already went plumb bad. So, if that's a word. Alright, let me get you guys up on Sky Vision, and we'll check this 3V4 and see if we can put some capacitors on this radio. I'm going to fix that ground and put some capacitors on it and juice it up and see what we got, guys. Alright, guys. While I was kind of straightening up a little bit, I found a couple tubes that were in that one in the Silverstone. I found the 1U5 and the 1U4. So I'm going to check this 3V4. We've got our little filament checker here. Plug it in. Let's see what it says. And it is no longer good. Make sure I got this on. Yeah, it set and went bad. It did work, but unless I pulled it out, I may have pulled the good one out, because I do have a couple radios like this. I may have put the good one in another radio. I could have done that, but this one's bad. I may have put this in there for a placement holder. So yeah, the filaments are bad on that, which we pretty much figured. So that's the SB4 that we've got to come up with. Let's check the 1U4 here. Alright, we're good there. We're good on the 1U4 and the 1U5. So we're good there on those two tubes. So we only have two more to come up with, which I have them. Just I have to go grab them here in a little while. Let's put those back on up here. All right. So the SB4 is shot. So what I'm going to do, guys, set this one aside for right now. I know this is off topic, guys, but the other day down at the flea market, I found a couple nice books. I haven't got to read anything this winter, and I'm going to try my best to read one of these books I bought. This is Frankenstein, Mary Shelley. I never can pronounce her last name right. But I have never read the book Frankenstein. And I also got Edgar Allan Poe, Forgotten Tales. So that's going to be really interesting. I really like Edgar Allan. So that'd be probably about all I'll be able to read this winter, these two. hopefully these two. I always like to try at least read one book. The I haven't read a really long book for a long time. Like huge. The last huge book I read was The Stand, Stephen King, and it was great because I had watched bits and pieces of them. I know I'm getting way off topic, guys, but I had watched bits and pieces of the 1980s TV movie they made of The Stand. But when I read the book, oh my gosh, it was. I don't know why they left out all the good stuff, but they did. So let's get on here, guys. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of these capacitors that I got the other day just to test with. We have a 50 microfarads, a 4 and two 40s, and one of them's at 750 volts, and one of them's at 500 volts. This is I can't remember because I didn't write it down, but I think these were 400 or 200 volts. It's either 200 or 400 volts. So we'll be use a little bit bigger one just to be on the safe side. And I know they're not the right values, but it'll be good enough to see if the radio is going to work. And I do have the right values wrote down. It has two capacitors, ultralatics, and one of them's a 0.1 and the other one's a 0.02. So I still have those wrote down. I don't know why I didn't write down the voltage, but I didn't. All right. So what I'm going to do, I want to wire those in. I'm going to wire these in. I'm going to check this ground. I'm going to check this ground real quick. Make sure, because it just seems, I soldered it to a bolt. And I really need to just go straight to the chassis. And we'll hook it up and we'll put the amp meter on it. See, hopefully it ain't going to be drawing a bunch of juice. And we'll go from there. And like I said, I've worked on this before, and it may take a while to figure it out, but I will get it figured out. I will. Hopefully. Hopefully. So, I'm going to do that off camera, guys. I'm going to get these wires. I'm going to solder that ground a little bit better, and then I'm going to hook these wires up, and I'll be back. It won't take me but a minute, but it's nothing fun to see. I'm just going to hook. Here's one of the capacitors go here, and the other one goes here, down here, and then they go to ground. And the rest of these wires, now I remember I put everything back the way it went. I remember working a very long time getting all that stuff back right, so I don't think I put anything wrong, but I'll kind of go through and kind of check my notes, and I think I have another paper and notes too. I need to look up. It gives me a little bit more detail of what I was doing. So let me get to this, guys. Let me put the caps in, and we'll meet back here in about 10 minutes. Alright, guys, I got looking, and I'm glad I paid attention. I wish it was right there. I would call it anyway. This has 3 capacitors. I thought it only had 2, but it does have 3. So I'll be adding the 3 capacitors, and this has 3 capacitors. One of them, we have 2 40s and a 50 microfarads. One of them's at 1500 volts, but that ain't gonna hurt nothing. It won't hurt nothing at all. So I've got 3 capacitors to skag in there. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I got everything wired up. And I was wanting to go over one thing about all these radios, this type of radio. They have, back in the 60s, I don't know how far back it goes, but they have what you call a selenium rectifier. This orange thing right here. And that thing is always problematic. Can y'all see that? Well, let me get. It's called a selenium rectifier, and they use diodes now, which that's something that I want to learn how to. I don't think it's super hard, and I should have already knew by now how to change these out and just add some diodes. But these are horrible, and they go bad. And most of the time, these will not work on AC. I don't know what the difference is between the AC and the DC, because most of the time it will work on DC power. I guess the selenium rectifier works more on the lines of AC, and when it's bad, it's bad. When these go bad, they'll make a horrible smell. But I've never had no luck with them. So that's probably what was wrong with this radio. And another thing, this will be the last time I'll ever take the caps off the Ultraletics, because really I haven't found one radio so far that those have been bad enough that it wouldn't play DC votes. Usually anytime I hook the DC votes to it, bam, it works. But that's what we're going to run it on tonight, is DC. I've already got the batteries hooked in. I'm going to hook the amp meter up, see if it'll work, and before we put any tubes or anything in, and we're going to see what kind of amps it's pulling, because I don't want to damage my tubes. So that's what I'm getting ready to do right now. I just got everything wired in. Got the capacitors here. I got them in line. Got it grounded, and I've got it grounded really good to the frame, to the chassis. So that's what we're getting ready to do, guys. We're going to, give me a second, I'm going to hook my amp meter up, and we'll see what we can see on it. Alright, guys. I hooked up the amp meter and everything. I got nothing at all. And then I thought, well, we'll check the voltage. Well, guess what? I was not getting any voltage either. So I thought, So I started tracing back, and looky here. The ground is barely hanging on. It's got one wire though. One little wire on there. You think that'd give enough juice, give some kind of juice. So I don't know if that's it or not, but I'm going to fix that, and we'll go from there. Maybe that was what was wrong with the last time too. I don't know. Don't know. That's why sometimes when you work on these, sometimes you pull your hair out, try to figure it out, and never do it. And you just got to put it up. And this one's been sitting on the shelf for about 8 months. So we may get lucky and figure it out, because I'm pretty for sure I got everything back right. And this is all just temporary. I've got, once I order the caps, I want to run it up on top and stuff that one cap. And where do I put it? I don't know where I put it. But I'm going to try to stuff. I don't know if I can put 3 capacitors in it. I may just have to run the capacitors up to the top, and it'll be ugly, but because this has a tray that actually comes onto the bottom, whole metal piece, almost looks like a car radio once you put the metal piece on the bottom. Usually they're just open on the bottom, but for some reason this SEARS Silverstone had it all closed up. Alrighty, I'm going to solder that, see if that helps anything. See, it has a little connection there, but not much. It's like 1 or 2 little wires. So it might be it. Alrighty, I'll be back. I'll get that fixed and soldered in. Alrighty, guys. I got that wire in. So I got it in. I got it soldered in real good. So that should be fine. Like I said, I don't know if that's what we're having, what the problem is, because it did have 1 or 2 wires there, but it could be. So I'll get ready to try to juice it back up. Alright, guys. Our voltages look pretty good. Let me get my thing on here. Alright, on 120. And I went through, let's see. Oh, I got give some juice. All right. And I'll check my pins. I don't know why that one's maxing out there. Ooh, hurt a little. There's our filaments. Looks like about 7 volts, so that's good. It's not gonna hurt anything. Okay. And then I'll come over here and check the ultraletics. Well, why? That's weird. Did something come loose? Nope. That one. What? Nothing loose? What's going on here? Well, they worked a minute ago, daggone it. What's going on here? There's that one. Okay, down on 12. What in the world? That one. Yeah, there we go. That one's for the filament. Or not the filaments, but the sound. What am I trying to say? The coil. You know, the coil goes through the speaker. I'm getting tired. This thing. Alright. So, I think it's going to be safe, guys, to put the tube in. So, I'll get you guys up on Sky Vision. And we'll see what it does. So, fingers crossed, I guess. Alright, guys. Let's put keep hitting things. Let's go ahead and get our tubes in. The first tube will be the 3V4. I need to find the 3V4. That's not it. Right here it is, 3V4. Okay, put that in. Oh, come on. Sometimes these can be a booger to get in there. Okay, that was not good. That thing lit up like a Christmas tree. Not good. And the funny thing is, I don't have no juice on other than the filaments. So the 7 volts, which I always use 7.5 volts on that. Let me put it down a little bit. I'm gonna have to drop it down to 3 volts because, yeah, it didn't blow the tube. Thank God. Let's check it. I never saw one light up like that. Never. They're not even supposed to light up. So let's check this tube. That's weird because I don't have any, but only thing I have is the 7 volts. Let's see. Okay, it's still good. I'm going to drop the voltage, guys, so I'll be back. Alrighty, guys. I got those tubes in, and it helped. It's not glowing like Rudolph's nose. That's weird. So, check this thing again. It's still good. I don't understand. I've got the radio off. So let's turn it on. Let's put some power to it. And let's see what it does. There it is. Took antenna, outside antenna to it. It's been a long time since this old girl played.
Points for his career, becoming the 52nd player all time. Only LeBron, KD, Kobe, Wilt, and Michael Jordan reached the mark at a younger age. Dame Lillard added 34. Kevin Porter Jr. had a triple-double. Bucks winning their third.
It's only a 4-tube, so it's not going to be very sensitive.
The Eagles went all in on free agency.
We're getting other stations, they're just not loud.
Throughout your busy day, every day. The heat's going to be out there for one more day. Temperatures being 30 degrees above average. With the power of over
I guess this one's filaments ain't 7.5 volts like the rest of them.
Tonight on ESPN. Term provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-2. Find a term life policy for you, even if you have type 2 diabetes or overweight or have high blood pressure. Term providers.
All right, guys, there we go.
Can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you.
And it turns off.
Boston love is coming compared to what you're seeing for Cleveland.
Alrighty. Well, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm pretty stoked. I didn't think this old thing would ever play again, to tell you the truth. Like I said, last time I had it out, I had to put it up because I just got frustrated with it. And it could have been this whole time that wire was unhooked. It's just one little thing can throw it off. Well, I hope everybody had a great Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a great week. I hope everybody's well. Hope everything's going your way, guys. And I want to thank all my subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much for watching my videos. Thank you all for the comments. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys. And this is all a learning experience for me. And I hope I can, maybe what I learned, I can pass on something to you too, if you don't know. So, alrighty guys. Until the next one, I'll see you right here at Redneck Ways. Bye, guys.